Thank you for joining us on NTA Nationwide News. I am Ifeanyi Okafor. Strategies for building capacity in contract and dispute resolution in the Nigerian oil and gas sector is being examined at an international conference in Abuja. Judicial correspondent Femi Okeo reports.
In November 2012, a federal high court in Abuja overturned an international arbitration which allowed some oil companies to determine the tax and royalties they are to pay to Nigeria. The Federal Inland Revenue had gone to court, stressing that it was its constitutional responsibility to determine tax, and the court agreed with it. But that situation must have arisen through a lopsided contract and arbitration agreement. It is this lopsidedness that the Conference on Oil and Gas Contract and Dispute Resolution is trying to address with a gathering of oil and legal experts. They call for a nationalistic solution to the oil and gas problems of Nigeria, which will create the proper legislation, competitive business environment, and eventual resolution of any disputes that arise in that sector in favor of Nigeria.
As a matter of fact, nations should be very, very involved with contracts, because contracts are instruments for the advancement or the opposite of state policy. So if you have a very bad contract, that is bad, one that doesn't advance your interests, it can actually be one that drags you backwards.
When you have a law that is defined in terms of its content, what you will have is that it is clearer for lawyers when you begin to elucidate on those. So for a judge who sits over a matter in dispute, he has clear, concise law that he can interpret from. So to that extent, a PIB or any other law for that matter, once it is coded, becomes the ground norm on which you find your judgment. So it can help.
The conference ends on Wednesday in Abuja. Femi Okeo, NTA News.
The federal government is working hard to ensure food security not only for Nigeria but for Africa as a whole. The Minister of Power, Professor Chinedu Nebo, stated this at a workshop on guiding investment in sustainable agricultural intensification in Africa, held in Abuja. Correspondent Dino Justice reports that the workshop is facilitated by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and the University of Ibadan in collaboration with Michigan State University. Here's the report.
The objective of the workshop is to, among others, improve the income and food security status of African farmers and consumers through policy of crop intensification. It is also to contribute to sustainable agricultural productivity growth and profitability of input used by farmers. Professor Chinedu Nebo, while commending the timeliness of the collaboration, said the present administration has scored high in agricultural revolution.
Now it is very obvious that the Ministry of Agriculture is doing exceptionally well in food production and ensuring food security in Nigeria.
All the Millennium Development Goals, the one that Nigeria has actually achieved is the goal in food security.
Professor Eric Crayford of Michigan State University assured stakeholders of the institution's readiness to partner with Nigerian research institutions to proffer solutions to hunger. Dr. Sewande Tasi made presentation on key research issues, while Professor Victor Okorua talked on the essence of networking among researchers.
The idea is to work with governments, policymakers, research institutes in African countries to develop and promote already existing strategies to increase farmers' agricultural productivity through intensification. So,
some of our students will be opportune to have on-hands training different from what we've done.
The consultation, which will last 3 years, is expected to focus on how best to strengthen capacity building for increased efficiency and profitability. In Abuja, Edina Justice, NTA News.
1 month after the declaration of state of emergency in the northeastern states of Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa, the Senate Committee Chairman on Defense and Army, George Thompson Sekibo, has commended security agents on steps taken so far to curb the insurgents. He described as unfortunate the incident in an interview with NTA News in Abuja.
And it is my belief that if we continue to encourage them and give them all the necessary relevant support, in a couple of months, we will have liberty and peace and freedom in the affected states.
He called on the people of the affected states to be patient on some of the discomforts being faced at present, pointing out that most of the measures taken, which include disconnecting the areas from mobile telecommunications network, is meant to aid the security agents in their operations.
Human freedom will be affected. Liberty will be affected. Freedom of speech will be affected. You know, things that make you live comfortable life will be affected. Sometimes you could be indoors for 24 hours. But after a while, when the desired goal is achieved, you get back to normalcy and things will be free.
Senator George Sekibo. Governor Kashim Shettima of Borno State has paid a sympathy visit to Marte local government to commiserate with the people who were recently freed by the Nigerian armed forces from the siege of members of the Jama'atul Sunnah-led Dawati wal Jihad. Correspondent Mohammed Goni reports that the governor's first port of call was the military formation in New Marte.
Addressing the officers and men of the Nigerian Armed Forces deployed to the area, Governor Kashim Shettima thanked them for not only restoring law and order in the area, but also for going by the rules of engagement in their operations. He noted that until the arrival of the military, the insurgents had crippled socio-economic activities in the area, adding that out of the 7,000 hectares of land cultivated in partnership with Chad Basin Development Authority, only 1,500 hectares were harvested. Governor Kashim Shettima assured the readiness of his administration to, in partnership with CBDA, resume the harvesting process since normalcy has returned to the area, and further stressed that the effort of the security operative must be appreciated by Nigerians. The governor then announced donation of food items to all the former formations of the military in appreciation for their selfless services in protecting lives and properties and for uprooting insurgency, and extended similar gesture to the police formation in the area.
Every formation is a form of motivation. We are going to give 60 bags of rice, 60 bags of garlic, 30 bags of beans, 15 cartons of palm oil, 30 cartons of fish, 12 cartons of Maggi, 30 cartons of spaghetti, 10 cartons of pig milk, 10 bags of sugar, and 9 cartons of egusi.
Speaking on behalf of the commander of the JTF Operation Restore Order in the state, the Brigade Commander 21 Armored Brigade Maiduguri, Brigadier General Bangi Boy, thanked Governor Kashim Shettima for his continued support to the armed forces in the state and expressed optimism that normalcy will soon return to the state. Addressing the people of Kirenoa village, Governor Kashim Shettima had, while commiserating with the people over the security challenges in the area, commended them for the support and cooperation being extended to the security personnel in the area. He then announced the delivery of food items to the people in the area, which include rice, sugar, maize, milk, and guinea corn, among others, to be distributed to the people to cushion the effect of the crisis. Secretary to the State Government, Ambassador Baba Ahmed Jidda, on behalf of the people of Kirenoa, thanked Governor Kashim Shettima for the visit, which he described as a demonstration of concern for the plight of the people in the area. Ambassador Baba Ahmed Jidda equally thanked the security personnel for safeguarding lives and properties in the area. In Kirenoa, in Marte local government, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
We have more on security and alternative dispute resolution from Lagos, where Becky will guide us. It's good to see you, Becky.
See you too, Ifeanyi. Welcome to Lagos. Strategies to make the application of alternative dispute resolution, ADR, more result-oriented in dispute resolution, conflicts, and security management is the thrust of a 5-day intensive workshop on ADR in Lagos. The workshop, organized by the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, is interrogating why the application of ADR has not yielded desired results. Vera Chiumba has more.
The workshop is expected to evaluate the impact of ADR in dispute resolution and work out strategies towards repositioning it to achieve better results. Alternative dispute resolution is informal, speedy, cost-effective, and encourages amicable settlement of dispute with tendency to leave parties as friends.
Regardless of the advent and application of alternative dispute resolution, that it is obvious that the delay in administration of justice is still very much with us. So we have to reappraise and reposition ourselves in terms of ensuring that we achieve the desired result.
Professor Paul Idonije, who gave an overview of ADR, said it is an emerging concept with emphasis on dispute resolution.
Our challenge is to make all the stakeholders to know that it's a tool. It's a tool. There are other doors other than litigation.
Justice Candid Johnson of Lagos State High Court said ADR has brought justice closer to the people.
In terms of bringing justice closer to the people, many jurisdictions it appears that there have been replications and they seem to appreciate what we've been trying to do here.
The workshop was attended by participants from across the country. In Lagos, Viara Chumuba, NTA News.
Early detection and regular screening, experts say, is necessary to curb cancer. This the Child Survival and Development Organization of Nigeria attempted to achieve with a health walk in Lagos to create awareness on the fight against the disease. The report.
The 8-kilometer run, tagged Run for a Cure, took off at the Muri Okunla Park after a brief aerobic session. From Muri Okunla Park, the participants, numbering about 700, went through Ozumba Mbaduwe, Adetokumbo Ademola Amadu Bello Way, Akin Adeshola, and back to Muri Okunla Park. The run, which commenced in 2009, focuses on creating awareness on the fight against cervical, breast, and childhood cancers, thereby ensuring that its ravaging impact is reduced to its barest minimum.
Yeah, that's important, to go out and get checked, because early detection is the key to prevention of death. Should not be afraid if they are diagnosed to have cancer, because that is not a death warrant. There is treatment, for as long as it is detected early.
The run was organized by the Child Survival and Development Organization, established in 2002, with the primary objective of providing support for maternal and child health care initiatives.
We apologize for the hitches in that report. The Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun says the state government is committed to upgrading existing public infrastructure and improve the standard of living of the people of the state. The governor restated this during his midterm assessment tour of all ongoing projects across the state. Leko Agbonde completes the report.
Some of the projects inspected include expansion and reconstruction of roads across the state, such as the 107 Ilara Ijong Ojaodon Road, Ayetoro Olodo Road, Abeokuta Township roads, and hospitals. Others are model schools across the 3 senatorial districts and the recreation center at Ota. At each of the project sites and town, the governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, expressed appreciation to the people for the support to the government in the last 2 years. He promised that the resolve to turn the fortune of the state for the better was ongoing, saying all the developmental projects will be delivered on target.
I want them to see and feel it. Unfortunately, we don't even have time. I'm sure the little that we've seen, we are leaving nobody in doubt as our genuine intention to rebuild Ogun State. I know that governors will come, governors will go, but it is whatever we do that people will remember us for.
Representatives of the various communities commended the state government for its populist programs aimed at improving the socio-economic standard of the people. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
As part of activities to mark this year's Day of the African Child, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA2 Lagos Network Center, in collaboration with Child to Child Network and UNICEF, organized a forum for school children to air their plight. The theme for the year is eliminating harmful social and cultural practices affecting children, our responsibility.
20 years ago, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, was established. The purpose of the organization was to promote the education, protection, and promotion of children's rights.
The event, which took place at the Nigerian Television Authority Lagos Network Center premises, drew attention to the need of eliminating harmful social and cultural practices affecting children. While addressing these leaders of tomorrow, the Zonal Director, NTA Lagos Network Center, Elizabeth Aino Scott, described the children as seeds that should be watered with clean water by parents, government, and teachers. She noted that NTA is ready to partner with organizations to create an awareness for the rights of the children.
NTA has always been interested in the lot of the children, and we've always had beautiful programs that children can learn decency, morals, lessons. We shall continue to work with all of you to ensure that children's issues are duly given the front burner position, so we may build this nation child by child.
The children had a parliament meeting where each school was represented. The event featured cultural dances, exhibitions of artworks, and many more. June 1991 by the Organization of African Union in honor of the children killed in South Africa while protesting for their rights in 1976.
And as a contribution from Lagos this hour, Ifa is back to you for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Becky. And still on the African child, the Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Hajia Zainab Maina, has called for urgent steps to eradicate harmful socio-cultural practices against children. Talatu Ezirike reports that this was her message on the 2013 Day of the African Child.
Parade of African children with one language of eliminating harmful social and cultural practice affecting children, which is the focus for the 2013 Day of the African Child. Top on the agenda, saying no to child labor, abuse and violence.
What I am saying no to is the way children drop out of school. Saying no to drug trafficking.
The Minister of Women Affairs say government is committed to the well-being and protection of children's rights. She said government is in the process of establishing a child helpline to protect children from internet and other social hazards.
We must also oppose old and injurious socio-cultural traditions that have disconcerting effects on our children.
All of us should sit on deck and make sure that there's peace and stability in Africa so that our children could grow peacefully.
There were goodwill messages from the Save the Children UK and NAPTIP. Meanwhile, a non-governmental organization, the Gender Support for Women Emancipation Development Society, held the Day of the African Child celebration. The president urged children to be law-abiding to constitutional authorities.
Tell the children to behave.
In Abuja, Talatu Ezirike, NTA News.
Cut-off mark for admission to polytechnics and colleges of education has been reduced to 150, while that of universities remain 180. This was the outcome of the 4th Combined Policy Committee meeting on admissions to tertiary institutions. Franca Uzoma Olwa has the details.
The meeting witnessed series of arguments for and against the reduction of the cut-off marks for polytechnics and colleges of education.
Very few people applied to go for the NC and the polytechnic. To encourage them, would have to drop their cut-off to enable them to come.
We have to drop it down a little bit to accommodate others. Many Nigerians will be deprived of tertiary education if we go by that 160.
At the end, those who made a case for 150 cut-off mark for polytechnics and colleges of education carried the day.
The meeting has agreed 180 for universities, 150 for polytechnics and colleges of education.
A child who is coming to a school, but the environment and the quality of what he finds there can improve that child.
The 2013 UTME application statistics shows that University of Benin topped the first 10 preferred universities, while more candidates applied for social sciences and medicine, with agriculture and education as most unpopular courses.
We always say people want to eat, but they don't want to go to the farm. Something's wrong. So we are now saying, please come and patronize agric. so that we may have more food. Come and patronize education so that we may have better teachers.
Admissions for the 2013-2014 academic year, according to Professor Ojerinde, will end on the 31st of October this year. In Abuja, Franca Uzoma Olua, NTA News.
Moving on to the health sector, a team of medical experts have stressed that regular eye checkups and early detection are key to maintaining good eyesight. This was emphasized when the Federal Civil Service staff with disabilities organized a free eye examination for disabled people in Karamajiji community, Abuja. Femina Mahmood reports.
According to statistics, patients afflicted with serious eye conditions such as glaucoma and cataracts have been on the increase in the country. In view of reducing the scourge of people living with the disease, the National Coordinating Chairman of the Federal Civil Service Staff with Disabilities says the exercise intends to provide free eye treatment for the disabled.
We are empowered to see the welfare of persons with disability in Nigeria.
People with disabilities are vulnerable in terms of medical facilities and accessibility of facilities. Even the national healthcare schemes does not even cover free eye tests. So that one also prompts us to actually collaborate with the vision experts.
Experts emphasize the need for people to undertake frequent eye checkups to prevent serious conditions that can lead to blindness.
I'm actually looking at detecting those that have visual impairment, such as refractive problems, and those that actually have infections, those that have actually developed conditions such as cataract, glaucoma, so that there could be an intervention.
Beneficiaries commended the exercise.
This program, we're happy about it, and then we also need more help from the government.
If the government can try like this, and then we will cooperate with them.
In Abuja, Femina Mahmood, NTA News.
This is NTA Nationwide. Acting Governor of Taraba State briefs the media on his visit to Governor Dambaba Suntai. This and more from Makudi Network Center with Susan as our guide.
Thank you, Ifani, and welcome to Makudi. Adherence to ethical values and professional standards by Nigerian engineers took the center stage at a meeting of engineers in Makudi, where the Benue State branch of the Nigerian Society of Engineers was inaugurated. Correspondent Joseph Otsen reports that the national president of the society, Mr. Mustafa Balarabe Shehu, said, henceforth, the organization will closely monitor the performance of its members to ensure very high standards and without doubts.
Addressing the members, the national president, Mr. Mustafa Balarabe Shehu, told them to uphold the dignity of the engineering profession by keeping to standards and specification. He encouraged Nigerians to monitor projects around them and report any suspected substandard structures to the society or other relevant organizations.
As at now, we have the Presidential Committee on Codes and Standards of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and we are working hand in hand with the Council for the Regulation of Engineering to come up with standards in all the engineering disciplines.
Speaking on behalf of the members of the Makudi branch, the chairman, Mr. Imoni Sanson, promised to do their best, eliminate quacks, and restore trust in the profession. The Makudi branch of the society also launched a community engineering program to enable the branch execute projects like construction of culverts on the roads, among others, around communities in Benue State from their personal contributions. Earlier, during a courtesy call at the government house, Governor Gabriel Suswan said he is dismayed at the idea of awarding major construction contracts to foreign companies, presumable for their expertise, but who end up employing the services of Nigerian engineers to execute the same projects and pay them less value for their services. In Makudi, Joseph Oten, NTA News.
The acting governor of Taraba State, Alhaji Garba Umar, who was in the United States to visit the Governor Dambaba Suntai, has assured the people of the state of great improvement in the health of the governor. Correspondent Christy Ayagwa reports that he addressed the media shortly after arrival.
The acting governor, who has been away from the state to the United States of America to see the ailing governor Dambaba Suntai, was received by a crowd of supporters and concerned citizens at the Jalingo city gate. The acting governor, in an interview with the press, said he is encouraged by the rapid response to the treatment by Governor Suntai at the Johns Hopkins Hospital in U.S. He said although he has no idea when the governor will come back, he is optimistic that it will be soon.
He welcomed me, he woke up, and in fact we could see him standing when he was welcoming me.
So how do you assess his health now?
Better than when I met him in Germany, far better.
He promised to sustain government's programs and policies to ensure continuity in governance. Alhaji Garba Umar advised Tarabans to support government's initiative in order to provide more dividends of democracy. In Jalingo, Christy Ayagwa, NTA News.
The two warring communities within Aguila in Ada local government area of Benue State have agreed to shed their swords in order to foster peace, unity, and development of the area. The traditional rulers of both parties made the declaration at a peace meeting convened at the instance of the Women Environmental Program, WEP, a peace vanguard at Igumale, the headquarters of Ada local government area. Charles Abba reports.
Records show that the Aguila community of Ada local government area, Benue State, has continued to battle with